Hello everyone, my name is Abby Bliss White and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to do a fun get ready with me playing with some new makeup and a new fragrance. So I was nudged to pick up the new Givenchy Holiday palette, and so I picked up this gorgeousness and we're going to create a little fall inspired look using that. I also am playing around with two lipsticks, one from Givenchy that goes along with the holiday collection, and I got my hands on Sable Smoke, and I had to check out what the hype was all about, as well as sharing a few favorite complexion combos, and we're going to do a little unboxing of the limited edition 60th anniversary Diptyque fragrance, and this is in Kyoto. So if you are interested in seeing how I created this look using this beautiful Givenchy palette, as well as learning a little bit more about the Kyoto limited edition fragrance, then let's go ahead and get started. Okay, we're going to do a little get ready with me playing with some new makeup, and I am going to start by prepping my lips with the MACRENES Actives Lip Filler, and this comes in just a doe foot applicator, and I'm just going to put a thin layer of this on my lips and prep those for lipstick. Okay, first I'm going to start with complexion, and my favorite combo at the moment is the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate foundation along with the concealer. And it is so funny because I had tried this originally and was not sold on it, and now I have tried it again and I really love the finish. So it just goes to show sometimes we just have to try things again and give them a second chance. So I'm just going to use one pump of the foundation. And I just like to buff this in with a brush. I'm using the IT Cosmetics Heavenly Complexion brush. Okay, so there is one pump of this foundation on the skin, and then I'm going to use just a teeny bit of the concealer. As I said, this is fantastic, but a little bit goes a long way. So literally 2 little drops here. I'm going to use my finger tip. I'm going to use the warmth of my fingertips, and I'm going to blend this in to the skin. Then I'm going to go ahead and set the concealer and the foundation with a little bit of the finishing powder here. And I'm just going to go lightly under here. And then I pulled out my Wayne Goss, and this is the Radiance Boosting Face palette, and this one is in satin bronze, and I'm going to use a little bit of this medium taupe contour shade, and we're just going to create a little bit of contour or sculpt the cheekbones just right there. Then I'm going to come in with that satin glow and just give myself a little bit of a faux tan, warm up the skin just a bit. Then I'm going to go ahead and use a little bit of this contour shade. I'm going to use that as my crease color. And then I picked up the Givenchy. This is their 9 palette. This is from the holiday collection. And my friend Eka from Beauty Luxy, if you are on Instagram, you must follow her. She has an amazing account with all sorts of beautiful makeup photography reviews. She's just amazing. But she had written me telling me that I need to give this a try. So I honestly have not used any Givenchy makeup in years. I did have some way back in the day, but it has been years since I have tinkered around. And she just said that I was going to love this 9 palette because it's just going to give you the most beautiful wash of color on your eyes. And I have to say, I agree. This just looked so pretty. I was a little worried because a lot of the shades looked a bit shimmery, but she was right and said that these just provide a really nice wash of color on the eyes, not too much sparkle, and that there are so many beautiful colors in the palette. And here is a swatch of this gorgeous palette. We're starting on this side over here, coming to this side. And here is the swatches. And today I'm going to play around with this row right over here. Here is a swatch on my fingertips, but it's got this beautiful, almost rose mauve color, this peachy little pop, and then this emerald or smoky mossy green here. This just looks so pretty. So I started with a little bit of that contour shade, and then I'm going to come into this color right here, and I'm going to place a little bit of that on the lid. And this just gives me a pretty wash of color. And then I'm going to take this sort of peach tone and I'm just going to pop it right on my finger. And I'm going to pop a little bit right above that iris and in the inner corner. So here's what I've created so far. And then I want to have a little fun with this green. So I'm using the Sonia G Pencil Pro, and I am dipping this on the barrel of the brush just like that. And I'm going to come over and we're going to put a little bit of the green in that outer corner, and we're going to bring it down by the lash line. Okay, we've got a little bit of that wash of colors playing up with green. I'm going to go ahead and tightline my upper and lower lashes with the STYLO U, and this one is in khaki metal. And this is khaki metal. We're going to play up the green a little bit. we have created a sort of soft, smoky, fall-inspired look today. And then I'm going to go ahead and pop on some mascara, clean up my brows, and then we will finish off the face with a couple different lipstick options. I am going to be using my KJAER YEUX. This is the I'm Possible or Impossible mascara, and I truly love this mascara. So I will quickly do that, then we can put on some blush, lipsticks, and finish off the face. Okay guys, here is the final eye look with mascara on. Eka was right. I am loving this palette. I was a little worried that this would be too shimmery for my eyes, but these have sort of the texture and finish of Tom Ford's Nude Dip, which I love because that just adds a really nice little reflection on your eyes. It's not too glittery, it's not too shimmery. It just adds a really nice sort of sophisticated pop on the eyes. And this is exactly what that palette does too. Now it does have this really pretty chocolatey brown right in the corner that can be used as liner, and I did use that the other day and I really loved that. These three shades right down the middle can really add a nice little pop of highlighter, especially in the inner corners, and I'm finding this to be super versatile and excited to play around with some different combinations. So today I just used this row here with that little bit of mauve, this really pretty green, and this is almost like a peachy color. And now we're going to pop on a little bit of blush. So I'm going to be using my new Tom Ford. This is in Explicit. This is the Blush Duo. And yep, I've still been really enjoying this blush duo. I like to take this shade here, the lighter one, and pop a little bit of that on first. And then go in with the brighter pop of color here and just focus a little bit on the apples of the cheeks. Give myself like a little bit of a flush there. And this one is called Explicit Flush. Now I'm just going to take a little just like this between the two, and I always like to add either my bronzer or my blush into my eye look. I'm just going to give just a little bit. I'm just going to add a little bit of that to my crease to connect the whole face together. And then I have one more Eka recommendation, and she had told me I should try the Copper Nude. This is from Givenchy, and this is from the holiday collection, and this is a beautiful case. This is encased in black velvet, and then you just pop it out here. And this is the shade Copper Nude. And here's a swatch of Copper Nude. And she loved this color so much that she bought a backup of this lipstick, and I was like, okay, if she bought a backup of this lipstick, it must be really good, because she's also a fellow beauty junkie and has plenty of lipsticks, so I knew she must really love this color. And this is the shade Copper Nude. And she was right, I love this color for fall. I think it is absolutely gorgeous. This feels very nice on the lips too. Again, I haven't tried any of the Givenchy lipsticks, and this is also a very long-lasting lipstick. I've been playing around with this formula, and of course this is a lipstick. If you're going to eat a big greasy meal, your lipstick is going to come off, but it does create a little stain on the lips. I found this to be very comfortable, very long lasting, and it's just a beautiful shade for fall. And then I recently did a Tom Ford lipstick video with some of the newer shades that just launched, and many of you were talking about Sable Smoke and that you were wondering why that one had not been relaunched. And then a subscriber told me that Sable Smoke is actually available at Saks. And I went ahead and picked this up since everybody was so gaga about it. And this is the shade Sable Smoke. And this is a mid-toned nude. And here is the shade Sable Smoke. This could look horrible on me, but we're going to go ahead and try Sable Smoke. Maybe I'm going to love it, maybe I'm not, but I needed to see what the fuss was all about with this Sable Smoke. And this is the shade Sable Smoke. And you guys can let me know what you think about Sable Smoke on myself. This is definitely outside of my wheelhouse. Some of these kind of lipsticks can wash me out. I feel like this Sable Smoke has enough pigmentation in it that it's not quite there. And I'm going to go ahead and top this with my crystalline lip gloss from Tom Ford, and just to give it a little extra shine. And this is Sable Smoke with Crystalline Gloss. You also could get the new In the Buff gloss, which is very similar to Crystalline. And then of course we're going to end with fragrance of the day, and I have a special limited edition. This is from Diptyque, and this is Kyoto. And I've been waiting to share this with you on camera because it comes so beautifully packaged. And I'm going to unwrap this. Here is the adorable packaging, and then here is Kyoto. And this perfume comes wrapped in the Furoshiki wrap, which is absolutely beautiful. This is one of the fragrances that was launched as part of Diptyque's 60th anniversary of creating fragrances. And I was super intrigued by this fragrance because it contains rose, it has beetroot in it, vetiver, as well as incense. And that combination sounded like it was going to be quite interesting. So we're going to go ahead and spray some of that on as fragrance of the day. And this fragrance is actually a very light and ethereal kind of fragrance. It does have sort of a green rose sharpness in the beginning. It's not super sharp, but I'm saying it's not a deep, jammy rose. This is more of a fresh, young, almost slightly green rose. I do smell a bit of earthiness in here. I'm sure that's coming from the beetroot. I had heard this was a little bit vegetal, and I was a little worried about that because I don't necessarily want to go too deep in the dirty vegetal kind of scent. But this has a touch of earthiness, but it's definitely balanced out by the rose, kind of lifts it up. And then this does have a bit of woodiness with the vetiver, as well as a touch of incense, which adds a bit of depth. So I feel like the rose and the incense. A lot of times you see rose oud combinations, and I think that the rose incense is giving this fragrance a little bit more heft, a little bit more body. This is very pleasant. There is a cleanness to it as well. This is not something that I would call like super dense and incensey. The rose in here again is going to lift this fragrance up. As this dries down on the skin, you are going to continue to get that light sort of ethereal rose. It does not necessarily morph into anything deeper as it warms up in the skin. As this dries down on your skin, you're going to get a little bit more of the woodiness in here. I still get that touch of earthiness from the beetroot. I'm actually really liking it because it adds a little bit more of an interest to this fragrance. When I first smelled this, it did remind me a little bit of my DIOR. This is Rose Kabuki, and Rose Kabuki is one of these light ethereal rose scents that I love, but I often layer this with something that has more depth. So I love to layer this with Amber Nuit from the same line. It's going to punch up the rose a little bit, whereas with Rose Kyoto, there already is built-in depth in the fragrance from the beetroot, from that vetiver, and a touch of incense. So this fragrance is an eau de toilette, and it is exactly that. It's going to be a lighter fragrance. It's going to become a little bit more of a skin scent. This is one that I think would be beautiful layered with a deeper, richer fragrance. But this is something that if you wanted to add a little bit of a green, earthy, slightly ethereal rose hit on top of a deeper, rich fragrance, I think it would be absolutely gorgeous. So far I'm really enjoying this limited edition Kyoto fragrance. I've been a little bit into rose scents lately, and I love the deep jammy roses to the light ethereal roses, and this one is in the more light ethereal, almost green rose genre. So definitely worth checking out if you are a fan of Diptyque like myself. I was intrigued by their 60th birthday anniversary, wanted to see what this was all about, and of course I was attracted to the beautiful packaging. Okay guys, this is the final look playing with new makeup. Absolutely loving that Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate foundation and concealer. Yep, I really like it. I'm so thrilled with this Givenchy palette. It is absolutely stunning, and I've been having fun playing with this. So let me know if you'd like to see any other eye looks using this beauty, and then having a little bit of fun with lipstick. So definitely love this copper nude. I think it is a gorgeous shade for fall. And then I'm really liking the Sable Smoke. Kind of starting to understand the hype with that one as well. So I'll leave all the information below in the description box as to where to find these goodies. But I hope you enjoyed this Get Ready with me, and I will be back with another video soon.